Hi, this is attorney Jamie Miller at Miller and Miller, and welcome to another Miller Minute, where we're going to do a video and talk about a really often asked question, which is what are the pros and what are the cons of filing a Chapter 7 bankruptcy? So let's get right into it. So when you file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, the major pro is that you get the automatic stay. Now, automatic stay is a legal term for injunction that keeps the creditors from bothering you. So once we file your bankruptcy, we're going to get this injunction that's going to stop the calls, stop the creditors from bothering you. It'll stop foreclosure. It'll stop utility disconnection. In some cases, it's going to help you get your license back. But fundamentally, the importance of the automatic stay or the injunction is to take that pressure off and kind of pop that balloon that's been boiling, that's creating so much stress from your creditors. And we're going to get that automatic stay immediately upon filing your case. The next pro about filing bankruptcy is nearly every bankruptcy case I file, my clients are always concerned about what assets that you could lose or that could be lost. Before we file bankruptcy, we're going to do a deep dive into all of your assets. Our goal at Miller and Miller is to make sure that we get rid of as much debt as we can, while at the same time protecting all of your assets. Wisconsin has very favorable exemption laws that protect your asset. So if you file a bankruptcy and you get the privilege of discharging your debts, we're going to make sure that we do everything we can. And more than likely, we're going to protect your car, protect your house, protect your retirement, protect your tax refunds. So you're not going to lose anything. Before we file the bankruptcy, we're going to do what's called pre-bankruptcy planning to make sure we protect your assets so that after you file bankruptcy, if there's an asset that's at risk, you'll know ahead of time. And if we can't protect it, we're going to put a strategy in place to make sure you understand that a particular asset could be lost and what the benefit would be of giving up that asset in return for getting your debts discharged. But I don't want you to get nervous about losing assets because 99% of the clients that file bankruptcy don't lose any assets whatsoever. And we're here to make sure that you don't lose anything other than your debts off of your credit report. And many people, the pros of getting rid of filing a bankruptcy is to get rid of your unsecured debts. So when we file for bankruptcy, your unsecured debts will get wiped out. What's an unsecured debt? These are debts that don't have collateral attached to it. So we're going to get rid of medical bills, credit cards, utility bills, payday loans. We will be able to get rid of some taxes. There's a myth out there that you can't discharge taxes in bankruptcy. Generally, we can get rid of some taxes that are older than 3 years. And I would ask that you give us a call if you have tax liability at 414-316-3555. And we'll tell you if you're going to be able to get rid of those debts. Now, while we can get rid of your unsecured debt, we're going to make sure that you keep your secured debt. If you want to keep your home, if you want to keep your car, you're going to be able to do that. And we're going to help with that. And so keep in mind that filing of the bankruptcy is going to get rid of any of those unsecured debts. The next pro is you're going to get a fresh start. And many people say, what's a fresh start? Well, that's an opportunity for you to start over when it comes to your credit. Many times when clients come to us, they have a very high debt to income ratio. So they may be making $40,000 a year, but they have $50,000 in debt. And it's so hard to get credit and to move your life forward when you're burdened by so much debt. The filing of the bankruptcy is going to get rid of that debt and give you a fresh start and allow you to start moving forward to a better financial future where we're going to help you increase your credit score. So the next pro is your credit score is going to increase. Now, it's not going to increase right away. Many people that come to our office will have a credit score in the high 500s or low 600s. If your credit score is already negative or in the lower level in the 500s or low 600s, the bankruptcy is likely not going to drop your credit score. If, however, you do have a higher credit score, and we do see clients who have a lot of unsecured debt, credit card bills, for instance, they may be up to date on those credit card payments. And so their credit score is not hampered by that large debt to income ratio. So when you decide to file for bankruptcy, we would advise stop making those credit card payments, and your credit score is going to drop probably 50 to 75, maybe 100 points. But when you file for bankruptcy and we get that debt to income ratio down and we start rebuilding your credit and we run you through our 7 steps to 720 program, you're going to get that credit score back up to 720 within 18 to 24 months after the bankruptcy is filed. You're going to be able to get that car loan after the bankruptcy is discharged. You're going to be able to buy that new home or home after 24 months after your bankruptcy is filed. And we have a plan and a strategy in place after your bankruptcy is filed that we're going to get your credit score up to 720. And I'd ask you to give us a call. We're happy to do a free consult. We have more information on this at our website at millerlaw.com, or call us at 414-316-3555, and we'll have schedule a free meeting with you. Now, let's talk about some of the cons of filing a bankruptcy. So the cons of filing a bankruptcy would be that it costs money. Filing bankruptcy, there's fees involved, the filing fee to the court, the cost for a credit report. If you can get one on your own at no cost, we'll help you. We can do that. And then there's the attorney's fees. But at Miller & Miller, we're going to work with you to make sure that we keep those costs as low as possible. And we make sure that you understand that it makes sense. You have to pay those fees in return for getting rid of those debts and to make the process run very smoothly. Hiring a lawyer to file a bankruptcy is important. You want to make sure that you protect those assets, but there is an expense in getting this filed. And I can tell you, navigating and having help navigating you through the bankruptcy process is very beneficial. And you'll see that the cost of hiring a lawyer to do the bankruptcy is well worth it. When you file for bankruptcy, as I said in the pros, you may lose some assets. So some assets may not be protected. But it's going to make sense. We're going to work with you and review your assets before we file and strategize to protect your assets. Maybe you'll lose a tax refund, or maybe you'll lose a car. Very unlikely, but I think as we go through the conversation process, you'll understand, wow, it's worthwhile getting rid of $60,000 in debt if I give up my $5,000 car. And again, I don't want you to be nervous about that. In most cases, assets are all protected. In fact, almost all of our cases. But in some instances, you could have an asset that is not protected. Once you file bankruptcy, I want you to know exactly what that risk is, if that risk is there. It's our goal to make sure that you don't have any surprises. Also in bankruptcy, the next con is some debts are not dischargeable. It's hard to get rid of tickets, fines, citations. Just as I said in the pros, some tax debt can be discharged. Some tax debt also may not be dischargeable. We're going to talk about that during the consultation process. Student loans aren't dischargeable. We hope that that changes. At some point, there's a lot of discussion on student loan changes in the student loan laws that have student loan debt discharged in bankruptcy or forgiven. We're not there yet, but generally student loans aren't dischargeable. So most of your debts we will get rid of, some debts are not. Filing Chapter 7, the other con is it's going to drop your credit score. There's no way around that. Again, if you have a low credit score, you won't see a big drop. If you have a high credit score, you'll see a larger drop. But again, we have a program in place that's going to help you get that credit score to 720. At Miller & Miller, we're not just going to file your bankruptcy, discharge your debts, and wish you good luck from there. We're going to take it the next step and partner with you to get your credit score up to 720. I have an exciting plan that's going to help you to accomplish that. You can see it at our website, millermillerlaw.com. Bankruptcy is going to stay on your credit score for 10 years. Some people don't know what that means. That does not necessarily mean that you're going to not be able to get credit. We're going to get your credit score up to 720 in 18 months to 2 years. The fact that your credit score remains, your bankruptcy remains on your credit report for 10 years, at some point it's going to be irrelevant. Your credit is evaluated by the things that are most recent on your credit score. So that's why we're going to work with you to make sure we build up your credit. Are you reporting your rent to the credit bureaus? Is your car payment that survived the bankruptcy reporting, your mortgage payment? We're going to help you get a secured credit card. We want to do what's called layer your credit so that within 18 months to 2 years, you're going to have that credit score and be able to get the credit that you want. And the bankruptcy is going to stay on your credit report for that 10 years. But if you go through our program after 2 years, the fact that it's there will not have as much impact. The filing of the bankruptcy can be emotional. I know this isn't what you want to do. It's not what anybody wants to do. That's why it's important to hire a lawyer that is compassionate and understands what you're going through. And we do at Miller & Miller. We are very compassionate. We understand how stressful the process can be. We understand how stressful it's been to have to deal with this over the years or months before you reach our office. And we're going to help you to get through that. Now, filing bankruptcy in Wisconsin, your name's not going to go into the paper. Your friends likely won't find out about it. It is a public filing, but it's a federal filing. So this isn't going to show up. Your bankruptcy is not going to show up on, CCAP or the circuit court websites. It's a federal filing. If someone wants to search and see if you ever filed bankruptcy, if they have that much time in their lives to do something like that, they'll probably find it. But they're not going to stumble upon the fact that you filed for bankruptcy. Happy to discuss that more with you, but we're going to help you get through this emotional process. The great thing, many good things about COVID, is that you don't have to go to court. We do everything on the phone. Court's either on phone or Zoom. So the process has become much more streamlined since COVID. So great things. Again, you can see the cons on the screen, and we'll show the pros real quick. But fundamentally, everybody's case is different, and we'd like an opportunity to meet with you to discuss how bankruptcy can help you, how Chapter 7 can help you. So much great information on our website at millermillerlaw.com, or call us at 414-316-3555. I hope you have a great day, and I just want you to know that Miller & Miller is here to help you when you need us.